You know what's wild? There are people walking around right now with $500,000 saved, and they still feel broke. Not metaphorically broke. I mean genuinely anxious about money, checking their accounts at 2 a.m., scared to spend $80 on a dinner out, terrified that one bad month is going to unravel everything they worked a decade to build. And on the other side, there are people with almost nothing saved who feel completely fine. Because they just don't think about it. Neither of those people are doing it right. But here's what nobody is talking about, and I mean nobody. Hitting $500,000 in net worth isn't just a financial milestone. It is a psychological one. And if you don't understand what actually changes at that number, not just mathematically, but mentally, you are going to either sabotage your own wealth or completely miss the moment your money started working harder than you do. So let's fix that today. My name is Parth. If you're someone who is grinding toward a big savings goal and wondering if it's actually worth it, or if you've already hit a solid number and still feel weirdly stressed about money, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. All right, let's get into it. Part 1. The math that changes at $500,000. Here's the thing most people don't realize. Money has a tipping point, and $500,000 is one of the most significant ones. Let's talk pure math first, because the numbers here are actually kind of mind-blowing. The S&P 500 has historically returned around 10% annually before inflation, closer to 7% after inflation. Let's use 7% to keep it conservative and real. At $500,000 invested, a 7% annual return gives you $35,000 per year, completely passively. That's $2,916 every single month. Generated by your portfolio, while you sleep, while you're on vacation, while you're doing literally anything else. Now think about that for a second. $35,000 a year is more than what 40% of American workers earn from their actual jobs. According to the Social Security Administration, the median annual wage in the US cites around $40,000. So at $500,000, your money is almost pulling a full American salary on its own. This is the inflection point. Below $100,000, your contributions matter more than your returns. You're doing most of the heavy lifting. But at $500,000, your money starts doing a serious amount of work for you. The equation quietly flips, and that changes everything about how you should think about your finances. Part 2. The psychology. Nobody prepares you for now. Here's where it gets really interesting. And honestly, a little uncomfortable. Most financial content will tell you to hit $500,000. Very little of it tells you what happens inside your head when you get there. And the honest answer? For most people, it's not what they expected. There's actually a term in behavioral economics called hedonic adaptation. It basically means that humans are incredibly good at adjusting to new circumstances. Both bad and good. Lottery winners within 2 years report similar happiness levels to people who didn't win. People who get massive raises often find that within 6 months, the raise just becomes the new normal. The same thing happens with wealth milestones. You spend years chasing $500,000, and then you hit it. And a week later, you're anxious about whether the market might drop 10% and take you back to $450,000. Sound familiar? Because I promise you, it's more common than anyone admits. Look, there are 2 traps people fall into at $500,000, and you need to know about both of them. Trap number 1, the scarcity mindset that won't quit. This is the person who has $500,000 saved and is still clipping coupons out of pure habit. Still driving a car with 200,000 miles because they can't justify a new one, still turning down experiences, skipping vacations, and living like they're one paycheck away from disaster. Now, frugality is a virtue that got them here. But frugality as a permanent identity, even when you have the resources to live better, that's not discipline, that's fear. And it means the money isn't actually doing its job. Trap number 2, lifestyle inflation. That quietly undoes everything. This is the opposite person. They hit $500,000, feel the relief, and suddenly the psychological pressure valve releases. New car, bigger apartment, more subscriptions, nicer restaurants every weekend. A vacation that's just a little more expensive. None of it feels dramatic, But the compounding effect of lifestyle inflation at this stage is brutal. Here's a real example. Say you hit $500,000 and you start spending an extra $1,500 a month more than you used to, which is honestly easy to do. That's $18,000 a year. That $18,000, if invested at 7% for 20 years, becomes roughly $72,000. Do that across 5 categories, and you've quietly cost yourself $360,000 in future wealth, without ever noticing. Both traps are real. Both are dangerous, and the key is finding the narrow path between them. Part 3. What should actually change at $500,000? So what should change when you hit this number? Here's the framework I think makes the most sense. 1. Shift from accumulation mode to optimization mode. Below $100,000, your only job is to save aggressively and invest consistently. At $500,000, the game changes. Now you need to think about asset allocation, tax efficiency, and whether your money is positioned correctly for the next 20 years, not just the next year. Are you over-concentrated in one asset class? Is your money sitting in a taxable brokerage when it could be in a Roth IRA? Are you leaving tax-advantaged space on the table? These questions matter enormously at $500,000. They barely mattered at $20,000, too. Give yourself permission to spend intentionally. This is something almost nobody in the personal finance world says out loud. But if your money is invested, growing, and on track for your goals, you are allowed to enjoy some of it now. Not recklessly, intentionally. Identify 2 or 3 things in your life that would genuinely bring you joy or freedom, and spend on those without guilt. Cut ruthlessly everywhere else. The point of wealth is not to die with the highest number. It is to build a life you actually want to live. 3. Protect the asset. At $500,000, the stakes are different. A bad investment decision, an unexpected medical bill with no insurance, a lawsuit, or a major market mistake can meaningfully set you back in a way it wouldn't have at $50,000. This is the stage where adequate insurance, an estate plan, and an emergency fund are not optional anymore. They are non-negotiable infrastructure. Part 4. The compounding truth most people miss. Here's the final insight I want to leave you with. And this one genuinely reshapes how most people think about wealth. The first $500,000 is the hardest $500,000 you will ever save. But from $500,000 to $1 million? At a 7% return, with even modest contributions of $1,000 a month, you could cross $1 million in roughly 8 to 9 years without doing anything dramatic. From $0 to $500,000, most people take 15 to 20 years. From $500,000 to $1 million, less than a decade. Same habits, same discipline. But the compounding is doing most of the work now. This is why the people who actually build generational wealth aren't doing anything magic. They just understood the math early enough, and they didn't sabotage themselves at the finish line. The game doesn't end at $500,000. It just gets significantly more interesting. So let me bring it all home. $500,000 is not just a number. It is a turning point. Mathematically, psychologically, and strategically. Your money starts pulling a near-average American salary on its own. Compounding accelerates in a way you can feel. But the mental traps get more dangerous, not less. Avoid the scarcity mindset that keeps wealthy people poor in spirit. Avoid lifestyle inflation that quietly costs you hundreds of thousands of dollars you'll never get back. Shift to optimization mode. Spend intentionally on what matters, and protect what you've built. Most people never get the roadmap for this stage, because most content is built for people still figuring out the basics. You're past the basics. It's time to think differently. If this video helped you think about money in a new way, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people who need to hear this. And if you want to understand why your first $50,000 builds wealth 3 times faster than most people expect, that video is right here. Watch it next. It connects directly to everything we talked about today. I'll see you there.